Okay, so you're an empath. Some days are great, some are just okay, but in general, it's really hard to figure out how to navigate both your sensitivity and your intense desire to serve a meaningful purpose in this world. This is the ultimate Empath Survival Guide. I'm going to share 5 tips with you that will help you deal on those days that suck and thrive in those moments when you feel ready to live your purpose. Make sure you stick around until the end of the video because I'm going to share with you the only way that you can permanently heal yourself. If you identify as an empath and you want to have a successful business, subscribe to my channel and hit that bell to get notified each week when I post a new video, as I'll be sharing with you all the tips, tricks, and strategies that you will need to be a successful, empathic entrepreneur. I'm Ciara Rubin, singer, lifelong intuitive empath, and intuitive life and business coach for empaths. I've helped hundreds of women remember who they are and begin their journey of grounding that remembering into the physical world in a way that lands. Survival tip number 1, regular physical self-care. This includes regularly bathing in salt soap. Make sure you watch this video for a deeper explanation of why salt soap is crucial for an empath. Having a healthy diet, reducing the amount of chemicals in your body products and your house products, your cleaning products, daily movement and or exercise, time out in nature, and plenty of sleep. If you're struggling in one or many of these areas, or if you haven't yet mastered all of these areas of physical self-care, I know it can be a little overwhelming. My best advice would be to take it one step at a time, to implement one new habit at a time, one more natural product at a time, one new meditation style at a time, etc. Survival tip number 2, boundaries. If you've been identifying as an empath for any length of time, you've probably heard a lot about boundaries, and that's because it's of the utmost importance when it comes to making sure that you have a sustainable amount of energy to keep you feeling good throughout the day. Boundaries are needed in many different categories of life. Some examples would be turning off your phone notifications, especially for social media. Now, if you own a business, you can set certain times, certain timers of the day when you check these things. So that's not an excuse. This also includes not answering text messages right away and sleeping on it when you're faced with any type of decision, especially decisions around business collaborations, expenses, or any big life decisions. Of course, boundaries are especially important in all of your relationships. You teach people how to treat you by the way you treat yourself and by the way you show up in your relationships. I've got a big truth bomb for you. If you're feeling drained by the people in your life, it's because on some level, you're letting them do it. Setting healthy boundaries in relationships looks like saying no when you're not available or you already have plans to do something, even if that something is for yourself. It looks like clearly stating when you will and will not be available and what you will and will not accept as far as how people speak to you and treat you. You deserve to be treated with respect, and the people who truly love you and deserve to have a big part in your life will want to treat you well and respect your wishes. I know from personal experience that boundary setting in relationships can be really scary and really hard. And even when you finally get the courage to start setting those boundaries, it can be a clumsy process. So my best advice is to be patient with yourself, seek help from an expert, and don't give up. Survival tip number 3, meditation. Meditation. I know that some of you might be giving me the inner eye roll, and some of you might be right out rolling your eyes at the screen. You keep hearing over and over from different sources that meditation is important. Meditation is good for your mind, body, spirit. Meditation is good for anxiety and depression, and that's because it is 100% true. Now, if somebody tells you that you need to meditate in a certain way in order for it to be effective, that's not true at all. There are so many different ways to meditate. There are movement meditations, guided meditations, music or singing meditations, mantra meditations, and yes, silent meditation. You have the freedom and sovereignty to decide which type of meditation works best for you. And the truth is that the type of meditation that works for you today or right now might not work for you tomorrow or next week or next year. When it comes to meditation, being willing to change it up but still show up for the practice is everything. If you're liking this video so far, give it a thumbs up and make sure to let me know in the comments below which of these 3 tips that I've mentioned so far do you think will be the most difficult for you to master and why? Would it be meditation, boundaries, or regular self-care? Survival tip number 4. Mind what you consume. You've heard the phrase, you are what you eat, and that's absolutely true on like a cellular level. But there are many other things that we consume on a daily basis. TV, movies, social media, news, conversations. All of these things are having an effect on you energetically, and anything that's having an effect on you energetically will eventually affect your physical body. I used to be obsessed, like obsessed with scary movies. Like obsessed to the point where I would go to a horror movie in the theater, and I would legit be laughing at the scariest parts and the most gruesome parts of the movie. I was so disconnected from my fear, and I was so resistant to feeling any real fear that I was able to consume things that were terrible for my mental health and my emotional well-being. After my spiritual awakening, I slowly started to notice that the scary movies that I'd loved for most of my life no longer interested me. In fact, the further I traveled into self-awareness and the consciousness of all the darkness within me, I started to see that these movies were my way of trying to process those feelings within me in a way that felt safe. Now, to be honest with you, I have absolutely no interest in watching another scary movie ever again. If you're watching this and you love scary movies, I'm not telling you to stop watching them. What I am saying is that what you consume is a reflection of what's going on within you. And the more you work on yourself and heal yourself as an empath, the more you will respect your sensitivity and not bombard yourself with food, people, or media that would harm you. Survival tip number 5, regular shadow work. What is shadow work? I briefly mentioned working on yourself in the last tip, and that's basically what shadow work is. Your shadows are the aspects of you that are unconscious or in the shadows, the dysfunctional behaviors and limiting beliefs that you are mostly unaware of that are negatively affecting your life and the way you create your reality. Shadow work is absolutely crucial to being able to deal and thrive as an empath. Most empaths have a genuine desire to help others, and frankly, it's hypocritical if you're trying to help someone else if you're not walking your talk and helping yourself. At the beginning of my awakening journey, I put myself through what I call a shadow work or healing gauntlet. I was intentionally digging and looking for past trauma to become aware of and heal within myself. Now, I don't necessarily recommend this approach unless you have about 2 months to not do anything outside of your home, but it was certainly effective. Believe you me, I am very aware of several shadows within me that still need to be seen, processed, healed, and integrated into the light of who I am. I promised you at the beginning of this video that I would share with you the only way to permanently heal, so here's a little bonus for you. We are physical beings. It's absolute truth that you are a soul having a human and bodily experience, and yet we cannot discount or ignore our physicality when it comes to shadow work and healing. You cannot set boundaries, meditate, and say some affirmations while holding your crystals and expect that you will never have troubles again. In order to heal fully and permanently, you must process your shadows in a physical way. Here are the physical ways to process and heal your shadows. Number 1, write. Journal it out. Number 2, speak. Speak it out loud. Number 3, my favorite, sing. Number 4, sweat. Yes, you can process your shadows while sweating if you set the intention to do so before the sweating begins. And last one, best one, number 5, crying. Crying in my 5 years of intense personal shadow work experience is the fastest, most effective, and most permanent way to let go of your shadows. Bonus question for you. Which one of these empath survival tips would you like me to dive more deeply into on another video? Regular physical self-care, boundaries, meditation, mind what you consume, or regular shadow work? Please let me know in the comments below. I would love to make another video on one of these topics for you. If you're an empath and you want to start a business, or you've started a business and it's not growing as fast or generating momentum the way you want it to, I've got the perfect thing for you. I've created the Empath Quiz. What is your brand's fatal flaw? This free quiz will not only tell you the exact reason why you haven't started your brand yet, or why you're not seeing the success you want, but it will also give you practical action steps that you can put into place immediately to start seeing positive changes. Click the link in the description below this video to take this super quick quiz right now. And if you haven't already subscribed to my channel, what are you waiting for? Seriously though, if you want to know the secret empath characteristics, what empaths are really like, watch this video. And thank you so much for watching. I love you today and every day, and I'll talk to you soon.